Okay, this one started mid-air, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know where we are, but I can only assume that we are now close to the front lines again. And it seems that somebody in our team had trouble taking off. He's saying that the engine is turning the wrong way, or the other way compared to a Messerschmitt, which it is. Which makes it tricky to take off if you are not prepared for that. Okay, that's probably our fighters, because I'm not too worried about it, and it's going in the same direction, which is north, which is where the enemies are. Okay, again I'm looking for some kind of map markings. As I said, I have a map on my lap, and that's what I'm looking at a lot of the time. Trying to figure out where I am in the world. And yeah, this is like optical scanning for targets right now, so I'm assuming I'm really close to whatever I want to be close to. Okay, that looks like something. Oh, those are the smoke markers. But that's also some active units, isn't it? Yeah, looks like artillery, and they are watching this way now. What I'm interested in is, are they shooting at something? Because they are pointing north. They are friendlies, probably. So if those guys are shooting at something, it's not going to be friendly. And this is probably the front line right here. That's our first defensive line. And I think I see targets right there. At 4 o'clock on my reticle. Yep. Another smoke, so there's been a plane shot down. Ah, okay, this is actually another one of the markers. Yeah, it's a smoking plane. The campaign engine just spawned that there because there's a crashed plane in there, the previous mission. Wonder if it's me, actually. Probably not, but who knows. Okay, that's two fast movers. Are they ours? I'm assuming they are, and the question is, did they actually spot something for me? So, I don't know why guys are writing in chat, because we do have TeamSpeak, but Musti is apparently in a fighter above Jager, so they're probably somewhere completely different, because yeah. Okay, now we have targets. And that's a tank formation. Okay, who are you guys? So this time, just when I find the targets, please no Messerschmitts. Those are German tanks. That's a Tiger, okay. And I completely fuck up my bombs, so yay. This looks promising. Okay, is that Roska again? Okay, now we have lots of planes down here. I'd really like to know who these guys are. Oh, the icon setting is different because I can see any markings right now. Yeah, I tried to get 2, but the other one just dodged. Just dodge is really effective in this. So that's 1 tiger down, so this is already kind of better than the previous mission. Why is that guy just following? Is it like an AI or something? And these are the fastest fucking tigers I've ever seen in my life. Well, that one isn't that fast anymore. Yeah, it's an AI, okay. So no sacrificial Troska this time. Is that a fresh plane? Okay, and Jaeger is telling us that the enemies are over 4,000 meters, so... Again, if they leave this ground to us, then... yeah, fine by me. Am I looking for further targets? If I only had those 4 rockets, and I could only have 4 rockets, it's possible. Then there's nothing I can do to a tiger. I think that if I find a panther, I can kill that from the rear, maybe. Okay, Jaeger is actually flying a Sturmovik, so... And he's telling us locations. Okay, that's another group of tanks. Looks like tigers again. So Jaeger is flying in Sturmovik. But he's not in my group, I think. Or he might be, I don't know. Yeah, that's... Our fighters are engaging again. They're basically in the shit because they have to fight Messerschmitts. So what are you guys? Nice shooting, but those might be panthers. Right? But I definitely don't have rockets anymore. Which makes this really fucking challenging. And is that the AI who's not doing anything, or did the AI crash before and that was his requi, so I don't know. I think I'm now kind of looking for targets that are not tigers. Or we are just getting out of the way of fighters, that's also a possibility. Yep. Jaeger is telling us that there are Messerschmitts somewhere. So I might be relocating from that. And usually during these missions we are talking all the time, figuring out what to do next. Okay, at least now I know that I have a rear gunner. But it really seems that I'm worried about something entering my asshole without lube. So we probably got a call from Messerschmitts in some area. Okay, that doesn't look very good for us. That's probably a triangular wing plane that's drawing smoke. Which means that somebody has shot up a friendly and now we lose yours. So what happened right there is that we were chased off from that zone. Okay, now we see more targets really low. And that's probably some other group of Sturmovix maybe. Maybe I want to join up with those guys. Because if I was assuming that they are enemies, I wouldn't go for them. Right? Maybe. Okay, they also have escort fighters, which might be nice. So is this group Jager? It very likely is, because these are Sturmovix for sure. And now we also have some kind of a contact way in front of us. Is that the guy we saw trailing smoke? Okay, Troska dies somewhere. Troska wasn't flying with me, what? And above, Jager says that our fighters need help in K-13. So we probably don't have escort fighters now, but we have a good idea on where the blue fighters are. So at this point me and Jager would be discussing about what to do here, and I think our idea was that since the blues control our primary target, the tanks, and we can't go there, then we will go dig iron crosses in Orel airbase. Well, it might be a wooden cross, but let's see. And this is not Orel airbase, by the way. We're going west and then turning north again, so yeah, this looks like we tried to evade some kind of a hostile group and now we are turning to re-engage. And I think this is when we discussed the possibility of growing iron crosses at Orel. Now of course the problem with that is that iron cross is usually given to German people, and yeah. And I'm thinking that somebody didn't have a functional TeamSpeak and Jager is relaying information, maybe to Musti. Or something like that, but that's basically a godsend, because now we get a play-by-play on what's happening elsewhere. So yeah, at Kilo Lima 13, friendly is in trouble, and he's vectoring the lugs in. Okay, that looks like trouble. But when we know where the blues are, we kind of also know where they are not, and that's what we are trying to exploit here. I have some vague memories of this mission. Well, at least we got those 2 tigers, maybe that means something. Okay, Paddington landed, maybe that was the guy who was trailing smoke, going back to home base. Did Jager spot something or... Yep, there's something in there. 2 groups of tanks. Are these soft enough? Because I think we have the 37s, so... Okay, and there's a fast mover shadow also here, so... Yep. Was that a friendly or not? If it's not, then we are kind of fucked. And those tanks are going north-ish. If they're going north-ish, are they friendlies actually or not? Because I would expect enemies to move more southward and friendlies going north. Okay, that's the fast mover we are kind of worried about. That could be a triangular plane. Usually Russians have more triangular shape in the lower lots and the Germans are more square. We're kind of turning south here, so that's probably more of a defensive move, so I think we are not comfortable with having that fast mover here. Or it could be one of the logs, I don't know, that's the problem. Yeah, Jager is now asking if one of our logs is here. That's a bogey, so we don't know what it is. And now we lose value, which is also not probably ideal. And we might have information that it's a friendly by now, I'm not sure. But we were definitely worried about it for a while, but now we are turning back north, which means that we are going aggressive. And the thing about these Eastern Front games is that fighters are basically just buying time and we need to make it worth, so this isn't going brilliantly so far. So we're H12 or Hotel 12 and they were Kilo Lima 13, so the last enemy contact or the big fight was like 15 to 20 kilometers away, and that's kind of not very reassuring, but I think our trip to Orel is still on. We're actually turning right where that big fight was earlier, which is kind of dangerous maybe. The bridge is down, which might be a good or a bad thing, I don't know. And I don't know why I'm this low, this isn't the kind of altitude where you can spot anything from, but I guess I'm hoping to turn invisible. Especially since Jager is doing all the navigating anyway. And by the way, this is the altitude where those forests are shitty dangerous. I think there's some kind of... no, that's just cloud shadow. And with this kind of group of Sturmovix, we might be able to make good all the losses we took in the air by shitting all over their stuff on the ground. Okay, now this is another airfield, but this looks quite empty. At least we know that there's nothing here, that's also important knowledge. I think we actually took a look at this to find something we could potentially shoot, but... now we are turning north again, which is probably the way to Orel Air Force Base. Okay, one of our AIs just spotted a fighter, so... I hope it's not one of those Jagerflight AIs. Because we are going to be really deep in the enemy territory and thus deep in the shit if somebody spots us here. Which is kind of not ideal. I'm not sure this trick of turning invisible by flying low is working very well, but at least I'm trying. Okay, now we go a bit higher to see further maybe. Does Jager spot something or... do we just want to take a look? And my rear gunner is getting a hairpolly. So for some reason he doesn't appreciate my flying very much. Okay, that looks like the Orel Air Force Base. There we go. Now the problem of course is that if they have planes that have shot all their ammunition or wounded planes, they might be coming back right now and spot us and tell everybody. And it seems that Musti and Taku found each other and they are both dead. So 1 second of silence to Musti's memory, please. Anyway, here we get the flak puffs. And the Jagerflight attacks, and so we all go in. And this is where we just need to make it worth anything, the fighter sacrifice. Okay, that's a flak battery right next to me, which is probably not ideal, but hey, there it is. How the fuck doesn't that die? It's another flak battery, how the fuck does that not die? Those do die. But this is the thing when you leave the ground to the Sturmovix. There's been a hellish fighter fight somewhere else on the map all the time, and they've shot down several of our planes, and we shot some of theirs. But look how fast shit dies when Sturmovix gets free reign in the ground. Okay, do we now spot some kind of activity nearby? We need to leave. Or do we just duck and cover? Okay, that's some dots, but it could be the Jager flight. There are still some targets, but there's a lot of flak also. A lot of angry flak. Dive to cover. Yeah, I think we are making the exit here right now. That looked like somebody saw a dot coming in, and that's when we just leave. I think we killed a few planes, not very many, but probably something that evens things out a little bit, considering our fighters are having trouble. But there you go. That's the main reason I like to fly this Sturmovik in these matches when we play for the Reds. So we're now moving west, which means that we are kind of trying to go around something, probably fighter sidings or something like that. And again we are trying to turn invisible by the power of thought. And well, my thoughts have never been really that powerful. Okay, now we are turning south, which means that we are returning home. And I don't remember, we had a game timer in this. It could be 1 hour, and I don't know how long we been flying when I started this record, or when this recording was started 10 years ago, or more. Because this is one of the earlier Scorched Earth campaigns we did. This is probably well over 10 years. And again we are going south now, so back home, and I'm assuming that when I think we are somewhere in the vicinity of something recognizable or friendly, I'm going to pop up to take a look at the terrain features around me.
Есть возвращаться на базу. Выполняю. Я 7-й. Понял. Идем домой. Я 8-й. Есть возвращаться на базу. Выполняю.
Okay, the Jaeger flight is now going home.
Есть общий сбор. Я 7-й. Понял. Сбор. Я 8-й. Понял. Сбор.
And that's a suspicious dot. That could suck a lot. Or it could be a Jaeger or something like that. Well, he's not turning to rejoin Jaeger, so he's not one of Jaeger's AIs. And I'm going lower, so I'm probably suspicious about this. He's somewhere in there. Now I'm trying to turn invisible and go faster with the power of thought. And that's the forest, by the way. When you approach those from side just like this, it sucks a lot. And now I'm kind of hoping that if it's a blue plane, he's going to want to be below me. And when he's below me and doesn't look at that forest closely enough, he's going to get very friendly with it. By the way, these forests are really good terrain features to navigate by, so I probably already have some kind of idea where I am, so... Well, I don't right now, but I used to, when I was younger and less stupid. I think I should maybe be a little bit more worried about that if I thought it could be an enemy, maybe. Not sure. Okay, are we popping up now to take some bearings? Okay, we have a road. We were just over a forest. But frankly not very much, so... I'm probably expecting to find some kind of a prominent feature soon, and I didn't quite yet, so... Let's see how it goes. They seem to be kind of worried about something here because I'm still flying so low.
Шестой, немедленно возвратиться домой. Конец связи. Я шестой. Я подбит, снижаюсь. Где истребители? Нам нужна помощь немедленно. Я седьмой. Есть сомкнуть строй.
370 kilometers per hour is like 100 meters per second or something. So I'm going pretty quickly here. So I'm assuming that I'm kind of arriving in friendly territory by now, and because of the mission timer I kind of think that it's 1 hour missions or something like that for this campaign. The blues can't be this far south anymore. So I probably don't have much to worry about at this point. For some reason I'm being quite careful here though. Probably because I'm stupid. Okay, now we find a road and probably a forest, and that's a railroad. Those are really good for navigation. Yeah, that's a forest.
Я седьмой. Понял. Идем домой.
The Jager flight seems to be still up in the air. And I really am flying uncomfortably close to the forest.
Внимание. Истребители. Слева.
But somebody is still seeing fighters. Of course the AI fighters can do whatever they want, they don't have to land by the hour. So maybe I'm worried about something like that. Okay, somebody crashes on landing. Hopefully he was playing for the blues. Now I'm kind of making a turn here, probably towards some kind of a base, but how do I know where it is? Maybe that river is something I know. At least I'm looking at the river. And to see if there's somebody following me.
Я подбит! Я отстегной! Черт! Я прыгаю!
Yeah, it seems that the Leosk guys are blue, so good riddance to that one.
Истребители! Нам нужна помощь немедленно!
And I'm kind of looking around, still worried for some reason. Maybe I'm getting ready to make a pop-up and navigate home. I am turning east, so this probably means that I'm already way above friendly territory. But yeah, this is the game. Holy shit. There's been nothing quite like this before or since. Now, probably from seeing that railroad intersection, I probably have pretty good idea of where I am. But I might be in a hurry here, because if this is 1 hour timer and they started mid-air, so it's going to be something like 10 minutes in, maybe. So I need to get my feet on the ground pretty quickly, preferably. I seem to have quite high confidence in that this road takes me where I want to go. Okay, that place I probably know. Yep, that's a town. Now look at the map. Okay, I'm here. So figure out the direction you need to go from that town and then pop up and go. Or just follow the road, or whatever. Okay, now the road goes somewhere else, but I'm assuming that I know what I'm doing, which is possible, maybe. However unlikely. Okay, now we're finally popping up. That's another town, maybe airfield near this town or something. No. But that should be a good fix on the map. So now I should have a pretty good idea where I am and probably also where I need to go. Now, hopefully. Because this basically has to be dying minutes of the game. And I'm not completely sure if I can quit mid-air or if that counts as dying. But I really think that we do already have the... That's probably an airfield in the horizon, by the way. But I think we have a 1 hour timer. So there can't be that much left. Yeah, there's the airfield. I see it and I'm going there. And nobody following me, so we should be good. Yeah, I actually found the place where I need to go. Yeah, there's nobody following. Somebody's putting up a lot of smoke in there. Is that a good sign or not? It might not be the best sign ever. And is that some kind of a bug for that rear gunner? Because it's kind of looking forward. It might be because this is kind of a version that's years newer than the one we actually flew this mission with, so bugs are to be expected. Now there's another airfield over there, which is the one I'm going for. I think it's this one. Maybe. Because if I am going for that one, then I'm way too high. So maybe I actually am looking for something else. Now I don't remember what happens in this campaign if you land on a wrong airfield. Probably not much, and I think that rear gunner should be looking rearwards actually. Oh yeah, there's also the opportunity for me to pretend I'm a fighter right now. So if I'm expecting somebody like Jaeger to come in, I'm flying a cap over the airfield. But I don't think the blues can be this far south at this point in the game. But if I'm interpreting this correctly, then I'm actually flying cap over the airfield right now. Waiting to see if somebody still tries to attack or somebody coming home has blues in tow. Okay, that's a dot, so what am I looking at? He's kind of west. So his direction is pretty ambiguous, unless I'm expecting somebody here. As you can see, people are blending and leaving the game already. And there can't be much left of the 1 hour time if we are running a 1 hour time. Yeah, now I'm satisfied that that guy is friendly and he's alone, so... Time to end it all. And that's plenty of airfield for this plane, so this should be easy. The flight model, of course, is, well, not very modern because it's 20 years old by now. But it's still okay. Jesus, I still remember that sound. Like I said, this is an actual trip down the memory lane. Holy shit. Oh yeah, somebody crashed on landing. That's not bad. Because that's blues. So there you go. Second one of the 2 Scorched Earth missions I have, so... That's Yuisa coming down, holy shit! I have to post this in the ship forums too, I think, or the Discord. Where is Yuisa all this time? I don't think he was there with me and Jager, he was doing some of his own stuff. Who's that? Do we get to score the landing? Or is he behind those fuel barrels? Okay, he has lights on, that's the beautiful lighting effect. That's a Sturmovik, so is that Jager? That's most probably Jager, yeah. So everybody except the AI came back from Orel, so... Guess it could have been worse. And this rear gunner is pretty bugged. Oh well. Well, that's Yuisa coming home. That's probably a good thing, I think, maybe. But I think this is pretty much it for this mission, and all the Scorched Earth missions I have left. So let's see if I have some other stuff later, but yeah, this is it for now. A rather sentimental thing here going on. Those were the days. And what is actually happening here, by the way, is I should be looking in different directions, like I said this is bugged, but I'm looking at Jager coming in without any control cables remaining. That's why he had such trouble landing. But unfortunately we don't get to see that right now. But spoiler, he makes it. Not a spectacular crash to see. And on that bombshell, I think it's time to end.